sing this morning. Amen. I want to dive right into the word today. Hey, the chief end of man has given me something that I can't delay this morning. 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 20. Chapter 23, verse 20. If you have it, if you can, just for this point, all of the houses to stand. Amen. After this, you can have your seat. Chapter 23, verse 20, 2 Samuel. Yes. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, a valiant fighter from Capsil, performed great exploits. He struck down Moab's two mightiest warriors. He also went down into a pit on a snowy day and killed a lion. Somebody say, killed a lion. Father, we thank you this morning from whom all blessings flow. Your spirit is in this place. Expectation is in this place. Your glory rains down this morning as we call those things which be not as though they were. Lord, we thank you right now for the future that you have for us, God. It is great in your eyesight. Thank you this morning for power, God. Dunamis power that we've never had before. Now, God, I pray this morning that this meat fall on good ears. Somebody's ready to digest great meat. Thank you, Lord, for maturing somebody's spirit in here today. Oh, we thank you, Lord. Let us walk like Jesus walked. Let us talk like Jesus talked, God. Let us think like Jesus think, God. Let our light so shine that man see it, Father. You get the glory, you get the honor, and you get the praise. The devil is defeated. God, you're exalted in Jesus. Last I checked this morning was still Lord. That means we have the victory, yes, God, in every area of our lives today. And Lord, we shall mock your name right now. We cry the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done, doing, and getting ready to do. Anoint the lips of William, God, so that your word can come on with power and anointing. Thank you for wisdom that comes from heaven. No spirit will leave this place the same way it came. And it is so, Father. In your Son Jesus' name we pray. Now if you believe that, put your hands together. Open your mouth and give God the best praise you can. I thank God because the entrance of his word brings light. Just the entrance of God's word brings light. Amen. High five 2 or 3 people and tell them, chase the lion. You can have a seat after that. Chase the lion. Chase the lion. Now, I didn't say go and high five those blunts and buckheads. Find somebody that's real this morning and say, baby, I'm chasing lions. I don't know about you, but all the devil sends at me, I'm still chasing lions. I'm chasing lions. Somebody got to stand one time and say, I'm chasing lions. I'm chasing. Tell yourself the devil is overrated. Oh, the devil is overrated. You've given him too much juice. The devil is overrated. You've given him too much juice. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Those people say victory shall be. Lose my mind so I can get back everything Satan stole from me. Everything he tricked me in, made me think a way I shouldn't have thought, say things I shouldn't have said, and hung around people I shouldn't have been around. I came to get a restoration. I'm going to praise my way into my breakthrough. I might not be able to sing, but I can clap my hands, open my mouth, and scream. I can set residence in here today. Send an eviction notice to Satan. Satan, go right back to Hades, where you belong. This is my territory now. I'm taking my house back. This is my territory now. Everything you stole from me, give it back. Everything you hoodwinked me with, give it back. Give me back my heart. Give me back my mind. Give me back my spirit, yeah. Give me back my time. Give it back. Oh yeah, come on now. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back. I'm making this a new holiday. Today is a new holiday. It's called Wynn Day. I'm declaring my independence today from Satan. Come on. Now you can make it your day too. But what I'm not going to let you do, you're not going to borrow mine. Because I heard this one. I praise God even when stuff was going crazy. I praise God in the midnight hour. I praised him when I couldn't see, when I couldn't hear from heaven. I praised him when it seemed like nothing was falling from heaven. Yeah, so today is William Wynn's Day of Declaration. Now you can call it your day too. But you gotta be able to put something in. You gotta fight. You got to fight. Fight. You got to fight. Fight to the end. Don't quit. Don't quit on your situation. Fight. So God can get the glory. Fight. Don't look at the opponent. Don't look at your enemy. Look up at God so you can fight. The Bible says that the lion went in the snow and killed a lion. Some people don't realize, but some of y'all had to stand in the welfare line. But you killed your lion. Yeah. Some of you had to get a divorce. But you killed your lion. Yeah. Some of you had to get wet for your children. But you killed your lion. Some of you doubted yourself for a while. But you killed that lion. Whoever's self-esteem in here was low, forget it. Throw it out. Kill that lion. You got to face that enemy head on. Face first. Kill that lion. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. what you gonna do. Yes, I'm fired up too. I'm fired up too. The people fired up are the ones who've been fighting something bigger than them. But they didn't quit. Those are people still be standing up, running all around, sweating makeup off, sweating Mary Kay off, sweating Mac off, sweating all that off. But they say the perfume, the car can't do that for me right now. I don't care how I look, as long as I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I don't care how I look, as long as I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And it don't matter what I wear, as long as I'm blessed. I'm blessed. That's all that matters. That praise was only for those who are on their way to heaven. Those are the ones who've been through something. I find a person crazy who's been through hell and want to stay in hell. At some point, you have to turn that thing around and say, I was in hell, but now I'm on my way up. I had hell up. I'm on my way up. Sit down. Give yourselves a hand. Because we don't stay at every amp, demon, soothsayer, witch, legion of out of here. Now you can be free. So now you can claim your victory uninterrupted and unhindered. The Bible declares that Benaiah chased a lion in the snow. But not only did he chase the lion, he killed it. Have you ever had a problem that was bigger than you that you shouldn't have been chasing or fighting in the first place? But you fought it anyway. And people called you crazy, but you killed that problem. You demolished that issue. You ran that thing up out your life. Benaiah shouldn't have been fighting a lion, but he did. He needed that for his resume. The things that you run from the most are the things you need the most for your resume. Two resumes, one for the spiritual and one for your mind. So if a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. A lot of times we lose because we don't think we can win. That's a fact. Life will beat you up so much, getting up ain't on your mind. You just trying to survive. But after a while, you have to shift surviving into being a warrior. Benaiah had went through a lot before he got to the point to where he could actually kill a lion. He could have stopped when he killed the two Moabs. That would have been enough. He killed 2 men by himself, and by himself with a staff killed 2 men. That was enough for most men. They would have bragged on it the remainder of their lives that they killed 2 men. But he didn't. He said, I got to go further. And I don't know who it is this morning, but there's somebody here this morning who needs to be pushed farther. You're complacent and content because you're not being stretched, which means that you're not growing. When you're stretched, that's when you start growing. When you start doing things in the spirit that makes it feel uncomfortable in your flesh, that's when you start growing. When you say no to what the world would say yes to, Jesus, that's when you start growing. When you look at your past and it becomes just that, your past, woo, that's when you start growing. The problem is in here, a lot of us couldn't fight lions because we remember when we got bit by the dog. So we have a phobia the rest of our lives about what it feels like to be bit by a dog, and we never get in the cage with the lion. But the greater reward is with the greater sacrifice. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. So that means those people who are closer to Christ have a lot of spiritual scars you'll never see, but they're there. With the lion, they're covered with his mane, because when lions fight, the first thing they go for is the face. You see them bringing those claws up and they, whoa, because they know if I kill the head, the body will fall. So I don't know if it's this for the head of house in terms of man or for the single-parented woman. Protect your head. Protect your head. Protect your mind. Don't let people be so quick to let them in your mind. Be careful what you allow people to sow into you. If you're on the phone more than 30 minutes with somebody, and at some point it's not talking about how to do a new income stream or new insurance for your family or employment opportunities or God, the living God, and salvation, you need to get off the phone. Because after 20 to 30 minutes, it all becomes gossip. Or lying. Okay. Sorry. Witness right here. We've been talking about this for a while. But what I want to talk about today, about in life when you chase lion, there are things that are called guaranteed uncertainties. When you start trying to strive to be greater, there are some guaranteed things that's going to happen that you had no control over. You know, you say, they hit me from the blind side. I didn't see this coming. I didn't know this was coming. If had I known this was coming, I would have did this over here. Or if I known that they were going to say no over here, I would have went over here. Guaranteed uncertainties. When you're really growing in something, challenges will come. The Bible says trials come to make us strong, but it doesn't say when they're coming. It just says that trials are coming. But it never tells us the date nor the time. Because God is preparing us for his return. Ooh. See, the Bible says nobody knows the day nor the hour that our God will return. So God said, if I can start training them now to endure trials through any season, they'll always be prepared for my coming. Yeah, but you can't chase God, who is the ultimate lion, if you're not ready. The Bible says, be ye ready in season and out of season. Again, he lets us know that when you're chasing after him, you got to always be on pump. You got to be on lock. You try not to have bad days when it comes to God. You have situations that arise, but I don't have bad days. Yeah, what I have are these obstacles or a stage for opportunity. Yeah, so it's the way that I start looking at things. So now what used to be a problem is part of my purpose. Yeah, so that makes me a lion chaser because I've changed the dialogue in the way my perception is about things that come before me. If you cannot change your perception, you cannot change your destination. If you cannot change your perception on how you handle issues, you'll never be able to reach for the stars. You'll never get beyond the roof of your house because you're unwilling to change. Guaranteed uncertainties, and to be certain of God means that we are uncertain in all our ways. We do not know what a day might bring forth. Watch this here again. Let me say that again. Guaranteed uncertainty is to be certain of God means that we are uncertain in all our ways. So when I'm certain about God, that means I'm uncertain in all my ways because his thoughts are not our thoughts, nor his ways our ways. So I never know what it is God is getting ready to do. But when I really say I'm trusting God, what I'm saying is, God, I'm yours, I'm your slave, as Paul said, which means that do with me as you will. I trust you as my master. Now, only thing I'm certain about is that it's going to be uncertain what you allow me to go through. So I wake up every day excited because I don't know what God is going to put before me today. So I can show other people how great the God is that I serve. See, the reason you have guaranteed uncertainties because at some point you have to trust God enough so that people will see what you endure and people will know that it had to be God. Amen. Come on, Pastor. People look and say, ain't no way. How did she get that job? Ain't no, you know she was on welfare 2 months ago. Child, she been borrowing flour for the last month. Now, I come home from work, there's a U-Haul out. She don't went from borrowing flour to signing, signing for her house. Yeah, because she was borrowing along the way to keep it moving, but she never stopped moving. A lot of us can't chase lions and kill them because we stop chasing. You get tired, you become lethargic. But James tells us in the Bible that with perseverance, we can produce hope. If you have perseverance, you produce hope. The longer I fight this, the more I'm guaranteed, the more I'm assured of myself. I stayed in this battle longer than I thought. Some people got married and 3 months later, some people even after the honeymoon, they were disappointed. We got children in church here. If you keep your children in here, it's your fault. A lot of people, how many of y'all been disappointed? Don't raise your hand. These are people heads on the swivel. I knew she wasn't happy. A lot of people thought they wouldn't make it through the honeymoon, but they kept fighting. And you look up and now they're having their 3rd-year anniversary. And what's amazing about it is that they're looking back saying, I didn't think I was going to make it. I was about to kill him. Killing him means he could have got to another one. You know how women do. Women come together with sisterhood. Now, when they come to these bad men, they want every woman to know that's a bad seed. Amen, women? They put it on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, take out an ad in the Atlanta Constitution, whatever it takes. I want to let all women know Albert ain't no good. Back to the text. Y'all get me off. Normally this is said with a sense of sadness when we realize that serving God is the uncertainty. That's normally said with a sense of sadness. It should be an expression of breathless expectation. It should be somewhere I'm like, yes, I'm finally over here. So whatever he bring me to, he'll bring me through. But we only say that during praise and worship. We never say that when we get home. Because there are some things we say at church that give us strength through church. But the real strength is needed when we go out the doors. So we don't say that there. We want to fight the lion in church with everybody else. High five somebody. And when we get out to church, we're right back to, what am I going to do? Nobody knows the trouble I see. And when you ask your neighbor to go to church, they're like, I'm not going to go to church with you every time you go to church happy, come home like you've been to a funeral. Yeah, but Benaiah was different. He did not wake up in the morning of his lion's encounter and plan out every detail. The Bible says nowhere in the book of 2 Samuel where Benaiah planned out how he was going to chase and conquer the lion. Some things just come instinctively. Now, how do I grow my instincts? By connecting with God. There are some things you're not going to have time to pray about. Your instincts take over. And if you've been in God, then God will speak through your instincts. But sometimes you don't have time to go back or call the pastor, one of your friends from the church, or prayer warrior. Sometimes you have to go off of what you know. Yeah, but Benaiah was at the point he had to go for what he knew, off of what he knew. Jesus, I wish somebody here today can look back and say, I overcame that because of not what I knew only, but who I knew. If it had not been for the God in me, I would have never been able to overcome this. The world say I should have failed, but I'm still living. Say I should have died, but I still have life. Yeah, that's one of those things that happens when you start having encounters with God. He didn't plan out every day. You know, it wasn't on his to-do list. He just came across the lion. Now, the lion wasn't even bothering Benaiah. Would have been different if it was self-defense. If it was self-defense, Morgan, I could have understood that the lion chased him and he had to fight back like y'all do your creditors. They have to chase you down, don't they? You start to fight with the creditors when you get the stuff you know you couldn't afford, and then when they start chasing you, you run. It's a lot of heads down there. You talking to me? You saw them heads do that? But it's the truth. So why is it that your creditors are your warriors? Why do your creditors make you out of cowards? They make you out of fabricators. They make you out of liars. Tell them I'm not here. Oh, don't answer your phone. And if they call, you got the wrong number. Can I speak to Suzanne? Suzanne answers the phone. Suzanne say, this is not Suzanne, this is her sister Joyce Ann. I'll tell Suzanne you called when she get home. What time she get home from work? I don't know. Because our lions chase us. And your lion can be a lot of things in here. So all the people that are here today, I promise you that most of you have a different lion. But the process is the same. Chase it. Chase it down. Call your creditor before they call you. Hey, how you doing? This is William Wynn. Yeah, I owe you this amount of money. I want to call you first and let you know, first of all, I don't have it. But I'm working you in. I'm working you in to my date, every month you're going to get something. But I want you to know now, I'm not running another day. Well, we can only accept this much. Okay, let me talk to your supervisor. Because when you're chasing lions, one thing you can't do, you can't stop. Let me talk to your supervisor. They're not the lunch. Well, let me talk to their supervisor. Then call right back and say, I was trying to get the supervisor, but I got disconnected while the person was giving me the number, so you can get the number. Then you call the supervisor and say, I called them and I wanted to work something out. This is all I got. Now I want to start paying y'all, and when I pay this off, then I'm going to give you more money, such and such, such and such. And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, okay, and be like, and if you try to gun shoot me, when I called you and tried to make an arrangement, y'all see what I'm saying? I got a bunch of meows in here. I need some roars in here. You try to gun shoot me and I'm trying to work this thing out. I'm going to the news. I'm going to the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to somebody. But what you're not going to do is have me on the run. Because I don't know the truth about you, but I know there's a lot of people here today who's tired of running. Well, there's a lot of people here today who's tired of running. I don't know, some of you tired of running from your offsprings. I can't believe I birthed that. That can't be, man. I know, yeah, but you got to face that. That ain't my child. That's your child. Looks just like you, your child. Oh, yeah, and act like you used to act when you was a child. That's a fact. That's why you don't like it, because you see yourself reincarnate. Benaiah chasing the lion reminded me of a toothache. You don't plan for toothaches. And if you can, you'll ignore a toothache when it's small. But when you start feeling that toothache, one thing is going to remind you of, I'm not going away. You have to deal with a toothache. You can't sweep a toothache under the rug. You can stop the pain for a while, but your breath will tell it. Everything in this world got a way of escape. It's going to let you know that there's some problems going on in that mouth. Some problems going on over in that mouth. They're trying to hide the pain. I smell it coming through the nostrils. You ever smell people's breath? It would come through their nostrils and found its way to your... This guy started chasing something that was not a foregone conclusion. You see, Benaiah didn't know if he could kill the lion or not. He didn't know that he was going to be victorious. He just believed in himself. Amen. Most men run from lions. He's chasing. He's chasing. But it's not the lion that's making him chase the lion. It's his destiny that's making him chase the lion. See, if it was just the lion, that would have been it. After he killed the lion, he went on and killed an Egyptian soldier. So there was something greater, but the lion was just an obstacle that he saw as an opportunity to get him closer to his destiny. And I don't know what's in your life today at work. I don't know what's going on in your personal life, but look at those obstacles as opportunities to get you closer to your destination. Amen. This right here ain't nothing but a test. This is just a test how that this too shall pass.
Amen.
You know, we got certain scriptures we do cheers to. This too shall pass. Whatever it takes, don't stop fighting. Whatever it takes, do not stop fighting. When you stop fighting, you've given up everything you have. Everything. Jesus never promised security. What he promised was uncertainty. And the reason I know this is because the Bible declared that Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. I don't know why people miss this about Jesus, but the Bible said when Jesus was talking to the disciples, Jesus told the disciples, he said, hey, listen here, hey, I didn't come for peace. Y'all had your chance for peace. He gave you 400 years before I came for peace. He said, I came to put mother against daughter. I came to put father against son. He said, why would Jesus be so cruel? Because he wanted to see who were the real lion chasers. He hadn't seen that in a while. So he didn't know if I had any lion chasers left, because had I had lion chasers, then maybe my father would have made me come down here and become the lion. It's a shame how God had to reincarnate himself and come down here as man to take the place of man so man can then look up to him. That's crazy, dude. God had to come down here as man. Lion, now, right? Here is roar. He had to come down here in the form of Jesus as man to talk to man, to let man see a lion so that man would not only be a man, but man will start looking up to the man which is in heaven. That is crazy. I got to go out here and prove to them. I got to go out here and encourage, motivate them, inspire them to be lions. Disappointed Jesus with the disciples. What did he tell them? By now you should be eating meat. You should be casting out demons. You've been to a church and your pastor's never cast out a demon? Never? Your pastor, you have a great church, it's beautiful on the outside, but everybody is comfortable on the inside. Because pastors preach to convict. They preach to get you to the altar. They shouldn't preach for you to feel good. That's what Paul says in the Bible. I'm just telling you. Over in the book of Timothy, he says it. Check it out. He says preachers should preach to convict, because when they convicted, then people open up. Yes. I'm yours. I'm convicted. I'm ready to do your will. When people go before a judge and they say convicted, the next thing they put is the sentence behind it. I mean, this is what you have to do now. So when you're convicted in God, you say, I'm convicted. Now what must I do? What must I do now? I'm convicted. I'm yours. I'm your slave. I'm ready to chase. I'm ready to chase lions. I'm ready to chase souls. I got an uncle who's been drinking. He's almost alcoholic. I know he has cirrhosis of the liver almost. I got to stop that. I got to get him at the Thanksgiving. I can't wait till he come down at the Thanksgiving fest so I can get him to the side and pray for him. I don't know if he's going to receive it, but I'm going to charge him. I'm going to charge him anyway. I'm going to charge him like that lion. I'm going to charge him and let him know this is my territory. And if you come over here, all this space right here from that speaker is holy. Be careful. Come at your own risk. That's a lion. Here's the lion with Jesus. I'm going to stay with Jesus for a minute. Jesus was such a lion that he had no place to sleep. No place. Jesus says what? He says it simply. He says what? Matthew 8:20. He says, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Jesus replied, foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man have no place to lay his head. You know why the Son of Man had no place to lay his head? You thought he was talking about in somebody's house. But if Jesus really wanted to lay his head somewhere, he could have went to Lazarus' sister's house to lay his head, because they knew him all too well. In fact, when they saw him when he died, the first thing they said is, why you didn't come On top of all that, that's good revelation. He trying to find a body to put his head. That's why he say, I'm the head. I need a body to put my head on. Somebody who's going to put my head on them and they're going to work that thing. Somebody who's going to chase lions with my head on them. That's why he couldn't find no place to lay his head. Because he had died. He had to die first so people would become convicted to then truly start to open up. Because now watch this here, all the people that he helped, all the blind see, the lame walk, clear leprosy, why he wasn't having altar calls? Why was he not having altar calls? In fact, when the people started finding out who he said he was, people would only come when they heard he was doing miracles. Because people didn't care his purpose. People only cared their purpose. And that's what happens with us. We don't care about God's purpose. We care about our purpose. So like Jesus never had a body to put his head on until he died, God doesn't have a body now to allow his spirit to dwell in. So a lot of us in here are dwelling off the petrol of our soul and not our spirit. You're living off your soul, which is connected to your flesh and not your spirit. So you wonder why your spirit man can't go but so far. Because you run out of gas. Because you're not putting the high octane gas, which is the gas that feeds the spirit in you. You're putting the cheapest gas from the cheapest gas station in you from your flesh. And now your gas tank is all convoluted, dirt and everything is in there because you have no place for the spirit. And then, so that's what makes you get mad with people in church. When things don't go your way. Because you're not looking at what makes it better. You're looking at what's better for you. Jesus. How can you chase lions when your whole dialogue is I? You can't chase lions when your dialogue is I. The ones who are true lion chasers, dialogue say him. Jesus never gave himself glory for nothing he did while he was on earth. Everything he said, this be by my Father's will. Oh, this is just for the Father. But we so worried about self, what they said and what they wrote and what they did and how they looked at you. You all so much about I ain't no God. People can't see the little God in you. But you want to chase lions. But you don't have the spiritual stamina to chase. Because you haven't worked out your soul salvation. Once you work out your soul salvation, you know what that really means? I'm cleaning everything out. I'm gutting myself so now Jesus can dwell. Now the reason I know that to be true is because the Bible says Jesus will dwell in no unclean thing. So that means that the soul has to clean itself out before the spirit can dwell. Why do you say that, Pastor? Well, in the book of Genesis, it tells us from the beginning that when God made Adam, he took dirt and he made Adam. And he said, and then Adam became a what? A living soul. He didn't come alive until God blew what in him? Spirit. 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 You cannot cry holy when all you're living off is your soul. You cannot chase. You'll run a few minutes, but it's like a toddler running after somebody grown. They can only run from here to there. And then the adult just getting started. That's how God is. He just gets started in your life. But because you're motivated by your soul, which is connected to your flesh, you get discouraged because you don't see godly things. But you don't see godly things because of your connection. So what do? You do what your flesh tells you to do. You whine. You cry. And you want everybody to know your problems. as if you just got a spanking. But it's natural. It's natural. It wasn't designed by you individually. The first thing babies do when they come out of their mother's womb is cry. And they realize then, when I cry, I get. If I whine long enough, if my mom ain't come and she's sending my daddy, or my boyfriend, or my uncle, she's sending somebody. You know, this church here just, y'all know. It's the truth. It's the truth. So your whole house makeup comes from your flesh. And you wonder, no matter how clean I do my spring cleaning, and I do my winter cleaning, I'm preparing for Thanksgiving now, and there's still a stink in my house.
All right, sir.
Not fleshly, spiritually. I don't care how I wash all the dishes, I put the stuff in there, make it smell good, vacuum, sweep everything, wipe everything down, and there's still a void. Got all the food I need this year for Thanksgiving, but I'm still worried. Still stressed. Because I can't enjoy the day because I don't trust God for my tomorrow. So I'm thinking about tomorrow. So Thursday, I'm thinking about next Wednesday already. Because I left God out the formula, which doesn't surprise God because he said, I'm not with you. I'm trying to follow you, but you won't let me in. It's like a guy who chased a girl who got a crush on me. Y'all women, let me do something to help the women. They make sure they feel. Y'all know how I was when that little boy had a crush on you. You know you ain't gonna give me time of day. That joke ain't getting your number because Bruce like you, but you like Tim. But you get off on Bruce chasing. Everybody, girl, Bruce like you. Yeah, I know, girl. I ain't stopping him. I'm in my mind on Tim. But you never tell Bruce to stop because you enjoy the chase. That's the same thing with us and God. We come to church because we love to see if God gonna chase us. We sang the song, Chasing After You. And we don't know who chasing who. We want God to chase us. And God say, you don't have to ask me to chase you if you just open up your mouth and do the Lord's Prayer. If you just open up your mouth and believe that my son died and rose from the dead in 3 days, you don't have to chase. I'm already at the door. Chasing lions. The Bible says in Philippians 4:7 that Christians have a peace that surpasses all understanding. Stop spending all your time making plans for God and start seeking God for his plans. We spend all of our time making plans for God. This is what I want to do, child. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm doing. 2 years and I'm right here. And we never consult God. But God tells us in the Bible, I knew my thoughts concerning you. Before you were born, they were good and not of evil. We go in and we make addendums to God's plans, and yet we call ourselves a lion chaser. When you make addendums to God's plans, most times it's because your flesh is guiding you. And you want to do things most people hear, see, or smell. I saw him doing it, and he looked like he liked the job, I liked the job. But what does God have in you? So you spend 30 years doing something that you're uncomfortable with. You're never happy because you're flesh-led, and you're never doing the things God wants you to do. You're never being a lion chaser spiritually. You're the cat chaser in the flesh. Siamese cats. You're chasing cats around. I don't know why people buy cats. I mean, and if you do, I apologize. This is personal. This is not biblical. I'm just like, the cat can't help me. The cat they scared, they sneak up on you. They come around, they don't do nothing but eat, use the bathroom, and then they tell you when they want to go outside, then they come back. But the dog can protect you. At least they let you know when something's coming. The cat looks stand in the corner and watch you have to handle your situation. I like uncertainty though, because guarantee of uncertainty brings about faith. Everything God do, he does it with reason. God is not wasteful. So when there's guaranteed uncertainty, the reason there's guaranteed uncertainty in your life is because it produces or it enhances your faith. When I go through something I didn't see coming, I didn't think I could get through it, and I made it through it, and I look back and say, what made me make it through that? I had to believe. I had to believe, and as I believed, I started to act on what I believed, and I stopped listening to people. You need to put some mute earplugs in your mouth for people, in your ears for people, so you can't allow people to distract you from what God got for you. You don't even get to the guaranteed uncertainty. Your friends help you chop it down. Man, because the first thing you do is call your friend. I got a bill from such and such. I don't know what to do. Child, don't call them. You know, we're going down to Daytona that week. Don't call them. And you be like, girl, you my friend. You are helping me run away from the lion. If anybody's helping you run away from your lion, are they really your friend? Jesus says it in John. Jesus says, know that you will endure many afflictions. But you will endure these afflictions not because of who you are, but because of who you serve. In other words, because your roar is just like mine. And if your roar is like mine, Satan's going to try to nip at you. That's why people come at you for no reason. You ain't did nothing wrong. Trouble found you. The Bible says it. The Bible says, when I will to do good. I preached that one. When I will to do good, evil was forever present. I didn't have to do nothing wrong. Evil found me. It found me because it noticed my roar. And they say, before that roar get too strong, we got to kill that. That's why I came back. If you're not a threat, evil won't come. Guaranteed uncertainties. Some of your experiences won't make sense on this side of eternity. Some things only be revealed to you when you get to heaven. Some things God have us go through just don't make sense. You don't understand why you are where you are. And God said you won't understand that until you get over here. If I tell you everything, I spoil you. Then you think you become my God. Just like your children, or you're chilling at home. You try to befriend your children and answer every question they ask. You give them a directive, they ask you why. You come back and try to justify the why. You're the parent. Because I said so. That's the end of it. The young people having these children, I don't know who the mom. I don't know who the mama, grandmama's getting younger, so you can't hardly tell the grandmamas, be careful. It's the truth. It's the truth. You cannot tell grandmamas these days because grandmama ain't wearing the knee-high stocking. Grandmama wearing mini skirts with no stockings. I'm done. Grandmama ain't chasing lions. Grandmama want to be chased. It's the truth. Back when we were coming up, how many people my age, you know, if all failed, you could always call Big Mama. Jesus. You always had an auntie or somebody that'll keep all the kids. While everybody else went out. Now you don't have that. This younger generation don't have the big mamas no more, the grandmamas and the auntie, because everybody out in the club. Ain't nobody chasing lions. Nobody. You used to go to Big Mama house and the kid might not behave with you, but everybody behave with Big Mama. Big Mama had a switch, I don't know how. She was older, but she was stronger than me. Big Mama didn't play no games. You love to go over there because Big Mama gonna feed you. She gonna sit down and read that big Bible to you. Grandmama gonna make you watch wrestling with her. You gonna take a bath, get ready for bed, and get ready for Sunday school tomorrow morning. Can I get an amen? But we don't have that no more. We don't have that, so we're losing the spirit in men. And men are gaining more soul. When I say men, I'm meaning men and women. Because people are afraid to tackle guaranteed uncertainties head on. People are afraid to tell their friends, no, I can't make it. Not this week. People are afraid to tell their friends, I just don't have the money. I ain't never seen nobody like that. People these days, they'll go and pawn something. Don't make the prophetic come in here. You'll pawn something to keep moving. Instead of saying, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to go with y'all. This is all we got tonight. We're gonna eat this to Tuesday. We ain't going to hell if we eat hot dogs on light bread. Pat, why they don't like me? It's the truth. How many of y'all had to eat cereal and put a little water in it? Mama cookie, God bless you. Mama cookie, they think we're going to hell if we eat some cereal with some water in them. I didn't know name brand cereal until I got to high school. Amen. We were cornflake kids. You know, they say them big boxes of cornflakes, knee-high cornflakes. You can get them jokers in. And we didn't have real nice porcelain bowls. My wife turned me on to that. We had Tupperware. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Tupperware, you wake up early in the morning, you get first dibs, you get the bowl and just pour. Ain't but that much milk. And rather than sharing it with your family, you look at you, God, thank you. You put water in the milk carton with the milk and shake. Then you pour it. And it ain't never enough. So what you get to doing, you improvise. You get that spoon. That's a lion chaser. By any means necessary. They're going to find a way to mix that concoction and get what God gave them. And they're going to pray over that thing. They just still chopping. Let me get some type of liquidation to come to the top of these cornflakes. And they keep chopping. And once they get it where it's a little damp, it's never wet, it's damp thing. Then they get them, they get their spoon, they go attention, go straight to the living room. Turn on the TV, sit there, and partake. That was a lion. You learned how to improvise. You didn't allow a lack of milk to stop you from partaking. No, you're going to put a little water in there, you're going to keep going. Yeah, a little sugar in there. I remember we couldn't, I knew it was tough when my sister made, we couldn't afford to go to the candle later. We ain't had no more Kool-Aid. And my sister, we had those, back then they had the iron ice box things. You put the ice tray, you put that thing in there, then you lift it up. My sister had went in there and improvised a little too much. She had made some sugar water and put it in the ice tray. And it had popsicles. Some of y'all not laughing. Maybe it's bringing back down memory lane. Some of y'all like, I did it too. Riri, why you, well, don't nobody want that, Riri? That water was sugar. It's just missing the color. Everybody stand. God bless you. We'll finish this baby up next week. Put your hands together. Riri been crazy. Mama, I don't know why they think everything I say true. It's true. I don't, one thing, I'm not going to get up here and fabricate. Amen. There's somebody in there. But you're not living to your full potential. God has greater